This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Pope meets Sinner. #1 tennis player gifts racket to Pope Leo XIV. Eala, Gauff falls short against defending champs, bow out of Italian Open doubles. In UAAP women's volleyball, Bella Belen, Eliza Solomon power NU to third UAAP crown to keep the dynasty dream alive. On a sad note, first foreigner, a Filipino, dies on Everest as summit push continues. In Major League Baseball, Ryan Weathers makes a strong season debut for the Marlins, pitching 5 solid innings and earning the win in Chicago. In the NBA playoffs, the Timberwolves eliminate the Warriors to book a spot in the Western Conference Finals. While the Celtics stay alive to crush the Knicks in Game 5, sending the series back to New York. And joining us live at the BNC studio, rain or shine Elasto painter shooting guard Anton Asistio. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 15th of May. Now, here's our roundup. Top-ranked tennis ace Jannik Sinner made a special stop on his day off from the Italian Open, paying a courtesy visit to Pope Leo at the 14th in the Vatican. The 3-time Grand Slam champion arrived with his parents, presenting the newly elected Pope with a tennis racket and ball, and even lightly suggested a friendly volley. But the pontiff, surrounded by priceless antiques, smiled and said, "Better not." Pope Leo, a 69-year-old from Chicago and the first American to head the Catholic Church, has been open about his love for tennis. Earlier this week, he joked that we can't invite Sinner to a potential charity match, a playful nod to the athlete's last name. During their meeting, Leo cracked a joke about his white robes being perfect for Wimbledon, referencing the traditional all-white dress code. Sinner is scheduled to face Madrid Open winner Casper Ruud in the quarterfinals on Thursday, marking his return to competition after a 3-month suspension due to accidental doping contamination. He's also hoping to make history by becoming the first Italian man to win in Rome since Adriano Panatta in 1976. Also present was Angelo Binaghi, the president of the Italian Tennis and Padel Federation, who presented Pope Leo with an honorary federation card. Beyond tennis, Pope Leo is also a loyal fan of the Chicago White Sox, while his predecessor, Pope Francis, was a devoted supporter of Argentina's San Lorenzo Football Club. The Coco Gauff Alex Eala duo has wrapped up their Italian Open run after a tough quarterfinal exit. The pair put up a fight that ultimately lost to title holders Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini in a tight 3-set match, 5-7, 6-3, 10-7 in Rome. Errani and Paolini, who took home last year's crown after beating Gauff and Erin Rotliff in the final, proved they're still the team to beat. Gauff and Eala started strong, jumping to a 5-3 lead in the first set. They even held a triple set point at 40-0, but the Italians rallied with 4 unanswered games to steal the set 7-5 in set 2. The Filipino-American pair found their groove again, leveling at 2-all before winning 4 of the next 5 games to push the match to a deciding tiebreak. But in the final frame, the experience of world number 6 Errani and Paolini shone through, breaking a 4-4 deadlock to close out the match in 1 hour and 36 minutes. The Italian duo, seeded 3rd in the tournament, outperformed in receiving points with 45 compared to 33, while both pairs were even on service points at 31 apiece. Eala and Gauff also tallied 3 aces, but it wasn't enough to clinch the win. With this loss, Eala's campaign in Rome comes to a close following her early exit from the singles draw last week after falling to Marta Kostyuk in straight sets. National University locked in its spot as a UAAP volleyball powerhouse, bagging its third title in 4 seasons after dismantling LaSalle in straight sets 25-19, 25-18, 25-19 in Game 2 of the Season 87 Finals. The victory not only sealed a back-to-back championship for NU, it also marked the final bow for stars Bella Belen and Alyssa Solomon, with Belen being named season MVP. Belen fired 18 points to lead the charge, while Solomon added 13 and Vange Alinsug chipped in 10, including the match-clinching kills. The win was especially sweet for Belen, who ended her UAP career with her third season MVP award after dominating the statistical race with 96.226 points. She joins UAP legends Eileen Ege and Alyssa Valdez as the only 3-time MVPs in league history. In a first for UAP women's volleyball, 2 players shared finals MVP honors, with Shaira Hardio and Vange Alinsug splitting the recognition. The NU dynasty is still alive and it looks ready to grow even stronger. Mount Everest reported its first victim of the season. Tragically, a climber from the Philippines passed away at Camp 4 last night. Bodraj Bandari, managing director of Snowy Horizon Trek, said 45-year-old Philip Santiago II passed away while preparing for the summit push. He was part of the Mountaineering Association of the Krish Nanagar Snowy Everest Expedition 2025. Bandari added that Philip reached Camp 4 late at night before passing away. Other team members were heading to the summit this morning. He noted the cause of death remains unknown. Efforts were ongoing to transport his body back to base camp, Bandari said. This marks the first death of a foreign climber this season on Mount Everest. Earlier, 2 Sherpa support staff who fell ill at base camp died at Hams Hospital after being transported for treatment. In Major League Baseball, Ryan Weathers made a strong debut for the Marlins, pitching 5 solid innings and earning the win in Chicago 3-1. Returning from a left flexor muscle strain, the 25-year-old struck out 5, walked 1, and allowed only 2 hits, including a solo homer. Manager Clayton McCullough praised his velocity and control, noting it was a really good first outing. On the offensive side, Kyle Stowers hit 2 homers and Agustin Ramirez added 1 to help secure the victory. The Marlins ended a tough streak, winning their first starters game since April 25. Weathers established the strike zone and kept the team in the game, making McCullough remark he was exceptional. In the NBA playoffs, the Minnesota Timberwolves dominated the Golden State Warriors to advance to the NBA Western Conference Finals. The Timberwolves, having built a 3-1 series lead, showed their superiority again with a 121-110 victory in Minneapolis over the 7-time NBA champions. This win wrapped up a 4-1 series result for Minnesota, securing their second consecutive appearance in the Western Conference Finals, where they will face either Denver or Oklahoma City for a shot at the NBA Finals next month. The Warriors, hobbled by Stephen Curry's injury since Game 1, struggled to find offensive rhythm without their star. The Timberwolves took control early, using their size and shooting to pull away, leading by as much as 25 points late in the third quarter. The Warriors made a late push to cut the deficit to 9 with 7 minutes remaining, but Minnesota held firm to close out a strong win.
You know, we've had a season full of adversity, and Coach said at the end of the regular season, we didn't do anything as far as trades or fire coaches. We just stuck together, and we got through it together. So I'm super proud of our team, man. Everybody has stepped up in some type of way this year, and we got win number 8. Got to keep going.
Meanwhile, Derek White led the way with 34 points as the Boston Celtics beat the New York Knicks 127-102 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Knicks still hold a 3-2 series lead with Game 6 set for Friday in New York. White was hot from deep, hitting 7 of 13 three-pointers and 9 of 11 free throws. Jaylen Brown added 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Peyton Pritchard came off the bench to score 17 points, including 5 three-pointers. This was Boston's second playoff game without Jason Tatum, who recently had surgery for a ruptured Achilles tendon. For New York, Josh Hart scored 24 points. Jalen Brunson had 22 before fouling out, and Karl Anthony Towns contributed 19 points and 8 rebounds. The Celtics outscored the Knicks 68-43 in the second half to take control, forcing a crucial Game 6 back on their home court. And here are the current NBA playoff rankings. And now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What does it mean when a chess player's flag falls, and why does it matter? In chess, flagfall refers to when a player runs out of time on the clock, resulting in an automatic loss if the opponent still has sufficient material to win. The term comes from traditional analog clocks where a small flag would drop when time expired, signifying that the player's time had fallen. This makes time management crucial, especially in fast-paced games like Blitz and Bullet, where every second counts. Time pressure can lead to rash moves or blunders, making the flag fall a common and exciting way to decide games under time constraints. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Now, this is really making a buzz on the grid. The Federación Internacional de l'Automobile, or FIA, has dropped race bans and slashed first offense fines from 40,000 euros to 5,000 euros following driver pushback. Higher penalties for top drivers have also been scrapped. The rules now differentiate between in-race comments and press room remarks. Political or hateful statements still face 20,000 euro fines. The FIA calls this a major improvement to its sporting code. The move comes after Max Verstappen's fast penalty and an open letter from drivers. Drivers had argued that emotional outbursts in the heat of competition should not be judged the same as premeditated comments. Some teams also feared harsh penalties could damage the sport's relatability and fan connection. George Russell urged action over words, while FIA Chief Ben Sulayem said the review was a team effort. Now, this marks the second backtrack this year after his failed V10 engine proposal. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 15th of May. Up next, joining us live at the BNC studio, the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters' Anton Asistio. When we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. Our guest, you can say, is a young maverick who excels in different fields. He was a young sports show host during his elementary days and was instrumental in powering the Ateneo Blue Eagles to 2 UAAP basketball titles in college, and now plays for the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters in the PBA. Let's welcome to the BNC studio. In full color, we've got Anton Asistio. Brother, thank you so much for the time and welcome.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so you are, I believe, the third Rain or Shine Elasto Painter na nag-guest dito sa The Scorecard. So it's a huge honor, man. It's great to catch up with you. Nakausap ko si mga teammates mo, si Big Bo Belga at si Andre Caracot. You guys are still in the pursuit of another PBA championship, and covering you. You're almost there kasi semifinals. How has it been as of late?
It's been good. Yun nga, we made the semis 3 times in a row already, but unfortunately, we haven't really made it to the finals. So hopefully, the next conference, we'll be able to make it to the finals naman.
Sige, I'll ask your thoughts about kung ano sa tingin mo ang kulang pa, what needs to be improved for you guys to get over the hump. So, on the way here, brother, I was watching some of your old interviews, and I saw one interview that you did na 18 years ka pala sa Ateneo. You are a full-blooded Ateneo product. Now you're 29 years old. You're in your 4th year in the PBA. When you look back at your Ateneo education, what are your fondest memories? And what are the things that you've learned that you still use up to this day?
For me, it was a lot of good memories, of course, kasi nga I was there ever since I was a kid. You know, my life was just in Ateneo. But, you know, it was really the ups and the downs that helped me to, you know, overcome and achieve the things that I did nowadays.
Okay, and then I was surprised to learn just recently na when you were young, you were actually thinking about becoming a sports show host. So tell me about that.
Yeah, actually, that was a long time ago. I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. And I was invited by my ninang to
Ayan.
audition. Ayun, tas thankfully, I got the part. And it was a good experience. I had a lot of fun. And it was a good exposure also at a very young age for me.
So what happened? Is this still something that you want to do in the future? Kasi alam ko, yung iba mga teammates mo, like sina Aaron Black, Brix Ramos, they're also venturing into media nowadays.
I'm open to it, you know. But right now, my focus is on basketball. But we'll see. Maybe in the future, there are, you know, opportunities.
Yeah, your former teammate, Ray ng Batak, nakakasama ko rin as a commentator in the NCAA minsan. So definitely something that you can do on the side. But I know you are on a mission, syempre, with regards to trying to win a PBA championship, which is not easy, of course. Rain or shine, going back, Anton. Obviously, in the PBA, real talk lang, it's very hard to win a championship. The past PBA conferences that I've covered, ngayon na ako nakita ng back-to-back, yung sa TNT. So now they're going for a Grand Slam. Para sa'yo, what needs to be done sa rain or shine for you guys to get over the hump and barge into the finals first?
I think, you know, we've had some experience in the semis. Yun nga, I said we made it to the semis 3 times. And itong last conference, I feel like we were a lot closer to making the finals than the previous 2. So I think we need to be more with our execution. We need to focus on our execution, and siguro may kailangan ng konting swerte na rin, no, para makapasok sa finals.
Yeah, sa basketball, kahit saang liga naman, kasama yan. You need to be lucky to win a championship. Sa NBA, nakikita natin, one injury to a key player derails a team's championship aspirations. Now, Anton, 18 years in Ateneo, ever since I've met you, talagang you've been a stud on the basketball court from high school to college and now in the PBA. Was it always basketball for you from the beginning?
Yes, it really was. Like, ever since I was a kid, if you asked me what I wanted to be, it was always a basketball player. So, you know, very blessed and very happy to be living the dream.
So, how long do you think you will be playing basketball? You're 29 years old right now. Di nga ako makapaniwala when I checked your UAAP page. You're about to embark on your 5th season in the PBA after this conference. So, how much longer do you think you'll be playing basketball? Si Big Bo nga, hanggang ngayon, naglalaro pa rin.
Well, for me naman ako, honestly, I want to play basketball for as long as I can. So, I really try to focus on, you know, staying healthy, my recovery. So yeah, I want to play as long as I can, but, you know, it's up to my body. I'll be able to tell if it's time to hang it up.
I don't think that's anytime soon, though. All right, Anton, who's one teammate in basketball that you haven't been teammates yet with, that you feel like you want to be teammates with in the future? Kasi maybe, you know, you guys would be an effective duo.
Siguro ako. Biased ako eh. I'm happy with my teammates already. Kasi ang dami na naming pinagdaanan, alam mo yun, like from the times na we wouldn't make the playoffs, to not making to the quarters, to the semis. So, wala, I wanna stick with my rain or shine teammates.
Okay, how about this? Ito, dalian ko ng konti. From your Ateneo brothers, kasi syempre, you guys are really tight, the Bebop, Band of Blue Eagle brothers, syempre sina Isaac, sina 30. I remember watching that Game 3 in the UAAP Finals, Ateneo Lasal. Sino yung gusto mo maging teammate ulit sa mga yon, sa mga Ateneo teammates mo before? Kasi yun, magkakalaban kayo eh.
Siguro si 30.
30.
Yeah, 30 was my teammate actually ever since we were in grade school pa. So parang ngayon lang talaga kami nagkahiwalay. But yeah, probably 30, especially now, you know, he played in B-League. He's now playing in
Dubai, right?
So it would be good to, you know, play with him again.
It's a very interesting career path that 30 took. Do you ever, do you see him maybe playing in the PBA one day?
I feel like eventually he will, but also I think now is a perfect time for him to explore those other options, diba? I mean, it hasn't really been done by a lot of people, so, you know, it's good for him. And C30, he works really hard, so he deserves it.
Grabe, one of my core memories of you and 30 was that championship. So I want to invite you here. Oh, we're seeing this moment right here. I'm actually there. I saw myself. Ton, let's go here to the LED screen. And I want to show you one of your highlights. Let's break down this play right here. Do you remember this play?
Of course. How can I forget?
All right, what happened there? Kasi buzzer beater to, halftime to, di ba?
Yeah. Actually, ball possession na ng Lasal yan, and then they turned it over. So Coach Tab called a timeout.
Yeah.
And he drew up a play. Actually, that play was for me talaga eh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a perfectly executed play.
And I remember the commentator, it was Tito Miko Halili, and was it Boom or Christian Luanzon? Parang sinabi na after this, possession nyo, start ng third quarter. So, ang laking bagay nito.
No, and I remember a few possessions before this, we were only going to be up by 1. And then I think there were free throws, and then I hit that 3. So instead of being up by 1, naging up by 7 pa ata kami.
Ton, look at the crowd. Na-miss mo ba yung ganyang klaseng crowd?
Of course.
All right. Now, there's another highlight that I want to show you. But PBA naman. Kasi ngayon, usap-usapan yung 4-point play. How has that affected the way you train and practice in the PBA now that you have the 4-point play?
Actually, ever since naman, I've been practicing, well, before it was long threes.
Yeah.
Now it's a 4-point play. So I didn't really change much. I still do the same things I do in practice, but now it's a more of conscious effort lang. Oh, meron ng 4 points. So if ever I need to shoot a 4, at least I know like I did all my reps.
So you also practice 4-point shots now? You know? So this was a buzzer beater, rain or shine. How has that affected your training with Coach Yeng? Do you guys allot time na pinapractice nyo talaga yung 4-point shot?
Oh yeah, si Coach Yeng, he's really big on outside shooting. Actually, yung maganda kay Coach Yeng is if you're open, he wants you to shoot it. So for a shooter like me, that's music to my ears, diba?
So as a shooter, and I'm sure a lot of people are watching right now, for you, what advice can you give them? Because obviously you're poised to have a long career in the PBA because you have that outside shot. What would your advice be to them, anybody who wants to make it to the PBA, make it big in basketball and have a career?
Siguro yung advice ko lang to them is to keep working hard and to never lose confidence in yourself. Kasi, you know, life of a basketball player, there's a lot of ups but probably a lot more downs. So you can't let the downs, you know, stop you from achieving your dreams.
All right. Last question, last message to the fans. I know since I feel like you're the perfect person to ask. Kasi 18 years in Ateneo, the Ateneo Blue Eagles starving for a UAAP championship, and people are saying, Coach Tab Baldwin, if he does not win, this might be his last season in the UAAP for Ateneo. Are you hearing that chatter, and what's your advice to the Blue Eagle faithful, the Ateneo faithful, to keep trusting, keep believing in the Ateneo Blue Eagles? They came close to beating LaSalle in the Asia Basket. What is your message to all the Ateneans?
To all the Ateneans, kapit lang tayo. You just have to believe in the system. You know, Coach Tab has won multiple championships for Ateneo, so just keep supporting the team and keep the faith.
There you have it. From no less than a guy who spent 18 years in Ateneo, Anton Asistio. Brother, thank you so much for the time. Thanks for guesting here on the Scorecard. Up next, it's crunch time in the Mile High City. The Thunder on the brink of a breakthrough while the Nuggets are facing elimination on their home floor. Will Shea and OKC snap their ticket to the West Finals, or will the Joker put together another masterclass to keep Denver's title hopes alive? We have it all for you when we return, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, let's take a moment here. Deep breath. Okay, I'm ready. What we're seeing from the Thunder, it's more than impressive. It could be the start of something big. Up 3-2 with a chance to eliminate Denver. This might be the night the NBA's balance of power quietly turns. Now let's zoom out. This is the youngest team in the NBA, but they got 68 wins. The number 1 seed in the West. A team that does not have like a big, huge center, unless you count Chet Holmgren and his Bridgerton-era frame. They have Isaiah Hartenstein though, but before this series and before the playoffs, he wasn't seen as a legit center. And yet, they're doing this against Nikola Jokic, the best player alive right now. The dude dropped 44 and 15 on them, and it still was not enough. That's not just resilience. That's some 2009 Steph versus Denver stuff before people knew what they were looking at. Now let's talk about Shea, SGA. He's turning into the, oh God, not him again guy, which every contending team needs. 31 points in Game 5, and most of those buckets late in the game, off balance, in traffic, just surgical. He had this vibe, like he wasn't just trying to beat Denver, he was trying to bury them, and he's doing it without hogging the spotlight. He let the game come to him. He lets Jalen Williams cook. He trusts Lou Dort to hit threes. He's the adult in the room, and the room is full of 23-year-olds. 23! Ang bata! You want to talk about unsung heroes? Let's go back to Game 5. Lou Dort had 3 points in 3 quarters. 3! Then out of nowhere, boom! 3 straight threes in the 4th quarter changed the whole energy in the building. Denver thought they had the momentum. Jokic was cooking. Murray was kinda, sorta heating up. And then Dort shows up like a Marvel post-credit scene and swings the whole plot. Now, Denver still has the best player in the world. Jokic, he's been sensational. And Murray, I mean, he had 28 in Game 5, but on 27 shots. That's not exactly bubble Murray. That's, I guess, I have to score Murray. Aaron Gordon has been solid on the boards. But where's the third punch? Where's the guy who steps in and wins you a game when your MVP needs help? Those guys haven't shown up yet. Oh my God. Now here's the deal. OKC can end Denver tomorrow on the road and signal a new era. But if Denver forces Game 7, grabe. It's gonna be in OKC, everything on the line, and you know they have the experience. 1 game, 2 narratives, the future arrives or Denver survives. Well, that is what we're going to find out. Stay ahead of the game as the battle for the playoffs heats up with high-stakes contests. And here is your odds breakdown for tomorrow's matchup. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From the only boxer in history to win world titles in 8 weight divisions, the people's champ and the Philippine pride, Manny Pacman Pacquiao, he once said, "Life is meant to be a challenge because challenges make you grow." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.